Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Hypermine Vanilla Season 3. We're here at the witch farm. We've got a little bit of progress to show off here. Then we're going to head over to the iron farm because we've got a little detail to put in. The results of the polar in. And then we're going to head over to Port Hypermine, finish out the episode, doing a little bit of landscaping around the spawn house there. So, let's get started. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are back at the witch farm. Not much in terms of progress on the farm itself. You see that? It's still the dirt box. I did bring a dog over, so say hello. Just in case it would have been helpful for any skeletons along the way. We'll see. It might not. Who knows? Who knows? I figured I'd just bring a companion along, though, because it gets kind of lonely out here. So you can see around the perimeter area, we've got all of the trees, and I do believe I've got Cheaty Optifine Zoom going. Let's see if we can zoom out. Yeah, so you can see the outer perimeter there. That's 128 blocks from the center of the farm here, or rather from the edge. And I have cleared out the trees. I've taken that border all the way around. I brought a beacon over. I think we did that. We did the beacon already for digging out the drop area. But you can see a little bit more work over this way coming into view. Are you ready? Are you ready? I don't know if you are. Boom. There we go. And I see we've already got a couple of... Oh, those I bet are just ghost blocks. So let's take a look. Yep. So we've got a few pieces and parts that we still have to clean out, but slowly but surely, we've got that done. So that is one quadrant of this beacon effect range. We've got another quadrant right there, one right here, and right here. And that took a little bit of time. This is going to be an ongoing project, slowly but surely digging out the entire perimeter around this farm to get the spawn rates inside the farm as optimal as possible. So, some fellow hyperminers have agreed to pop on from time to time and take care of that, help out with that. And to that end, we've also got some water clearing to do, and T.O. has kindly donated the sponges that he's picked up from a couple of different Guardian farms. Let's see if we got them here. Well, it may just be one Guardian farm, but the sponges there, that's going to help immensely with this. But enough chatting about this particular part of the project. We are currently still on 1.9.4, even though Minecraft 1.9 is, or 1.10 is out. But we'll be getting to 1.10 here soon, maybe even over the course of the recording of this episode. Who knows? But we need to head over to the iron farm. And so what I'm going to do is actually probably collect a few more of these flowers because they're going to be useful at spawn or at Port Hypermine. So we'll just grab those. I really like these. Orchids are among my favorite, along with the allium. And I believe we might be able to get allium from close to spawn, but let's put the dirt in there and the orchids in there as well. And we're going to head on to spawn and eventually, well, over to real spawn over at the iron farm, where I'll show you the results of the design poll. So, see you in a bit. And here we are back at the iron farm. Did you miss it? Man, man, I love that. Love that view. Great view. We still got work to do here. We still got the functionality for this whole storage room to do. But we're not doing that in this episode. No. We have got the poll results, and you can see the choice here. At the time of recording, let me just bring up this particular poll result here. At the time of recording, you can see my mouse cursor moving around here. Let's pull this up. And I just happened to update to Windows 10, and it's opening all my pings and JPEGs in the GIMP instead of Windows Photo Viewer. So great. Anyway, the poll results are 57% in favor of the regular Prismarine, 42% in favor of the dark Prismarine. We said it was going to be simple majority, and so simple majority says regular Prismarine. We're going to be going with that. And it was total responses of 7. So there we go. Thank you so much for participating in that. And now we're going to put your particular spin on things down here. It turns out I don't have a particular tool that I need. So let's go up and get that, and then we can drop back down and do a couple of these together, and then I'll take care of most of the rest of them off camera. So for the digging out over at the perimeter, I have been keeping just picks and the various things that I'm digging out of that hole in my inventory. So I have not put the axe in there, but there we go. We've got the axe, and you can see what I've been doing. You can see all these picks. They're all efficiency 5, some with fortune, some with silk touch, all with mending. And so once I go through an entire set, I will go spend some time at the gold farm and mend all of them up. But there we go. I've got my axe, so we can go down and take out the fences. And we'll just drop down here. It doesn't really matter. We've got mending and feather falling 4, so we should be good there. All right, so what we're going to do is take the axe, and we're going with this one. So we'll knock this out. I don't have that beacon on me or on the area here, so we're not going to be worried about messing with or digging too fast in this whole area. So there we go. We'll do that. Maybe we'll do a couple more, and then just to give you an idea, we can step back and show off what it's going to look like once everything is done. So let's do that, and we'll come over here and we'll do this just to give us a little bit of variety here. We're going to be hitting up all the major projects going on this Hypermine map for us so far. So there we go. We step back a little bit. You can see a little bit of color popping out here, but not overpowering. So if those were the main blocks, they would be overpowering, but I think that's a good highlight. So that's what we're going to use it for. We're going to carry that around behind all of the dark oak fences here and around there. So let me get to that, and I'll bring you back once we've got it all done. Well, that did not take that long, so there we go. Let's take a quick tour about here just to see the difference that this makes. It really completes everything. So I forgot to mention that I would, through the power of video editing, include the poll results earlier to show you that I'm not just pulling your leg with something that I wanted. So I did not vote in the thing, so I could not have messed with the results at all. So I left that entirely to you. So thank you so much for participating in that and adding your own touch to this. And we'll try and do that some more in the future as well, so that this becomes your build in addition to mine. So we'll kind of get the best of what everybody's got to offer and everybody's got to suggest. We got some great builders out there that watch these videos, and I love getting your suggestions. But while I was doing that, I discovered something. We've got a sign, so let's see. This base claimed by Jan Doncom. Jan totally built this. No soap here. I don't think so. But that does bring me to something that I want to mention, and that is we've got a bunch of farms we're going to be doing here. We've got, well, you can see it. We've got the iron farm. That's pretty much already decorated. We've got an Enderman farm. What's that going to be about? We'll see how that goes. And a reed farm, pumpkin, melon, cactus, and then a standard mob farm. So we've got some farm ideas that are going to be in place, and let's sleep away, or rather just dismiss the evening so we don't get surprised by anybody. But we've got a bunch of stuff we're still going to be doing around here, and I'm just going to be doing the functionality, and I'm going to be inviting fellow hyperminers to come in and put their own little spin on things. So we might need a build by Jan.com here at spawn, and I'm going to see who else wants to join in. But anyway, enough about here at spawn. We need to get over to Port Hypermine and hopefully have enough time to do the landscaping there. So I will meet you over there. And here we are back at lovely Port Hypermine. I've got a couple of administrative things to do. First things first, I stopped off and crafted a few more iron blocks. We'll bring these over to Cass's trading shop. Just enough. Awesome. There we go. So we'll top that up. There we go. Iron free for the taking. And he's got a decent amount of stuff going on here. I have actually been using this, not the Silk Touch, but the Unbreaking 3 Efficiency 3, and then hoping for Efficiency 3 books and then Efficiency 4 books from the enchanting. But there we go. I have made a few of those Uber picks that you see right here for the perimeter digging from Cass's shop. So big thank you to Cass for that. And then there was one more thing that I needed to do, and I don't see the items that I needed. I may have left them back at spawn. I need a name tag, because I've got an idea for a name for one of the donkeys, but if I don't have a name tag that is easily accessible, then it's not going to be possible. So anyway, I don't think I have them here at my house. So if I do find them, I'll pull them out and we can name a donkey. Otherwise, yeah, I don't see them. I may be going blind, but I don't see them here. So, no naming ceremony today. Instead, I will go collect some materials and we will start working on a little bit more of the landscaping around here. So I'll be back in a bit. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have gathered some supplies, and while I was doing that, I happened to find the name tags. I had stored them over here to prepare for taking all those materials over to the witch farm. So, let's see. Yeah, this is the one that I want to name right now. We're going to call him Red Ox. Might seem kind of strange for a donkey, and you might be saying, Soap, you spelled that wrong. But nope. No, I meant to spell it like that. That is the name of a company that I particularly enjoy their bags. And so since this guy is a transport of sorts, he holds stuff. So we can do this. Let's actually grab that. We're going to leave the dirt in there because that's his gate when we get over to the witch farm. Because he's my main transport for long distance travel, I'm going to call him Red Ox. I've got one of those bags. This is not a product placement or anything. I'm not being paid by them. It's just I happen to really like the bag. It's held up quite well, and it's enabled me to do some one-bag trips, even for week-long work trips. So I've been quite pleased with that. Anyway, I'm not here to sell those. What we're going to do now is come over to the house. And you can see I've got a bunch of stuff in my inventory. I know parts of some of them I'm going to be using, and then some of it I'm not so sure. So for sure, we're going to be putting Podzol. Yep. We're going to be doing Podzol for a little planter box. So we're just going to come around like this, and then we'll come back through and put on some additional decoration, but we'll do like this. Podzol gives us the other ability of adding vegetation after the fact. Alright, so I think we got enough Podzol, and then we'll come in with iron trapdoors. And these guys are annoying as all get out. This is a little villager breeder that happens to keep our village fairly well populated, but they are quite noisy. Very noisy neighbors, and we'll see if we end up moving them at some point in the future. But there we go. We've got a little bit of a bottom part on our planter boxes, and then we're going to come around with some side ones, and that's going to be a bit awkward, to say the least. We'll come around like this. And as I'm doing this, I realized that I forgot one more thing. In the iron farm decoration, the ceiling decoration, I forgot to show you what it looks like in Faithful 32, and I've just forgotten to put it in Faithful 32 here as well. So we can't do this one. We have to do some podzol in the middle, even though there's not a window. We'll just continue this on around. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to put trapdoors on all sides of these planter boxes. I'm doing this from the ground simply because it can get kind of annoying to pillar up and dig it back down, pillar up. So as long as I can reach, we will do this, and then I'll go around later and put in some of the vegetation. I don't have a Silk Touch pickaxe on me, so that means I can't do it from the inside, although that would be nice. Let's put some more podzol right there, and we'll put that up. Iron trapdoor on the bottom, and then we'll come around with wooden trapdoors like so. And so what, a couple more? I think we got the front already, so let's do this. Hopefully I have enough. We're going through a lot of wooden trapdoors. Very useful now that we can put them pretty much on anything. Can we jump up? And there we go. Do that and come on around here. Hopefully not fall into our neighbor's yard. All right, so there we go. And now what I'm going to do is come around with some allium. I did get some of those, and blue orchids, maybe a mushroom here or there, and a fern. Cass will be so pleased to have the fern on this build. But what I'm going to do is do that off camera, because once again, we're going to have to be pillaring up and pillaring down and yada, yada, yada. So anyway, I'll bring you back once I get all of the vegetation in. Well, there we go. We've got the planter boxes here on the front, and I did pillar up just so I could show you, because you can't really see that from the lower ground here. I did promise that we would be doing some landscaping in this episode, but I don't believe we're going to have time for that today. There is a chicken. I heard you. Goodbye, chicken. Okay, there we go. Took care of that. And we'll come up here. We got a couple more ferns, so there we go. We've got some variety. Not too much, though. I really like the orchid, and that's probably right now my most favorite. I also like the allium. That's second. So anyway, there we go. Are we going to get a chicken out of this one? Good. Good, good, good. And that's what I think about that. All right. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We've got planter boxes, and we'll come back through with some landscaping at a later time, perhaps next time, but we do have a few different projects going on. So we'll see. We've got some redstone to do both at the iron farm and the witch farm. So I don't know. We'll see. Stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed today's episode, feel free to hit that like button. It's always appreciated. And if you haven't done so already, think about subscribing. It doesn't cost you a dime, and make sure that you are up to date with everything going on the channel. If you have any suggestions for the landscaping around here, any themes, feel free to leave those for me in the comment section down below. And stay tuned for polls coming up in the future. I think that worked really well. And, let me know what you think. Did you enjoy that? And love to see and get some more feedback and start working some more of that in around here, around some of the builds here. So anyway, that's going to be it for now. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.